When helping civilians in need, most police officers will simply claim they're just doing their job. Yet every now and then, they have to divert from their usual job description to help those who aren't even people. Police were recently beginning an overnight shift at the Lakeland Police Department in Florida when they received a call about a stray kitten lingering near a busy intersection. An officer managed to catch the tiny animal and bring her back to the station. After comforting the kitten overnight, Sergeant Brian Wallace arrived and he had to make a big decision about her fate. Police officers are supposed to serve and protect the people of the world. While it's their duty to look after the public, sometimes their work requires them to stray away from the norm and offer help to those who aren't people at all. The night shift had just begun at the Lakeland Police Department in Lakeland, Florida, when a call came in about a kitten aimlessly wandering near a busy intersection in town. Needing to protect their community, Officer Mike Kitten was dispatched to see if he could help the animal. After arriving at the scene, Officer Kitten did his best to calm down the frightened kitten and gain her trust. Finally, he managed to catch the tiny baby and bring her back to the station, where officers expected animal control to pick her up in the morning. Instead, plans changed. Realizing that the kennel where the kitten was staying was much too big and she could easily escape, Officer Kitten designed a new one for her from a cardboard box. He then placed that back in the kennel where she was supposed to rest until morning. Not long after, however, Sergeant Brian Wallace reported for his shift. Noticing the adorable kitten, he decided to keep her company. "I got to the station just after Officer Kitten had secured her and went to check on her," he recalled in an interview. Rather than leave her in the kennel, Sergeant Wallace kept the tiny kitten on his lap for the majority of his shift and he felt an instant connection. Here she was, alone and frightened. "Since this was not too long after the beginning of the shift, I just couldn't leave her in that box for about 10 more hours, just to have animal control take her away." Sergeant Wallace and the kitten bonded so much over the next couple hours that, when he was sent out to patrol, he decided to bring the little kitty with him. "I took the box she was originally put in and placed it in the passenger seat of my patrol vehicle, facing me," he explained. The two continued to keep one another company for the remainder of his shift. "That's where she stayed for the rest of the night, and she didn't seem to mind, I might add," the sergeant recalled. As his shift came to an end, he felt that he wasn't ready to let her go. Sergeant Wallace was well aware that animal control would arrive to the station shortly to pick up the teeny kitten, and he was faced with a big decision. So, after giving it some thought, he decided to adopt her himself. "That little face. I was done," he said. Sergeant Wallace brought the kitten home and named her Kelsey. These days, she's acclimating herself with her new surroundings and she seems to be loving her time in her new forever home. "She's quite affectionate," he mentioned. "It's almost like she realizes she was given a decent chance at surviving after being feet away from heavy traffic and on her own at so young. They say it's not good to bring your work home with you, but Sergeant Wallace and Kelsey seem to be the exception to that rule."